Trustee Bertelson,
Here.
Trustee Black,
Here.
Trustee D,
Here.
Trustee Lucine,
Here.
Trustee Moran,
Here.
Trustee Neal,
Here.
Trustee Sandy Wilson,
Here.
Trustee Sarah Wilson.
Here.
All right, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome to everybody here to the July 14th Bozeman School District Board meeting. Thank you for joining us. Public comment will be taken throughout the meeting on agenda and non-agenda items. During public comment, no member of the public will be allowed to comment on contested cases, other adjudicative processes or proceedings, or personal matters. The public portion of this board meeting are being recorded in accordance with District Policy 1420 and Section 2-3-214 MCA. By remaining in this meeting, all participants and attendees acknowledge they may appear on recording, which will be placed on the school district's website for a minimum of 1 year from today. Further instructions about the participating will be provided throughout the meeting. Before we engage in the business of the board, I would like to share the core purpose of the Bozeman School District, which can be found on the back of our nameplates as well as to my left. It reads, Bozeman Public Schools exist to ensure high-level learning for all students. We'll start with agenda item 2.2, Board of Education.
Thank you, Chair Black. Board Education this evening is on our summer jumpstart programming. As you know, the last 23 legislative session through House Bill 352 made available programming for targeted early literacy. In the most recent session, that has been updated to include numeracy. We ran Summer Jumpstart at 3 locations last summer and again at 3 locations this summer. Emily Dickinson, Meadowlark, and then the Highlight program, which is Bella, focused on the needs of multilingual English learners. The district is running 5 bus routes, and our food service department is serving all 3 locations. We also have a partnership with Greater Gallatin United Way to provide a summer camp opportunity for students in the afternoons. Last summer, we served approximately 200 students. The prerequisites for Jumpstart to receive the 1/4 A and B is 120 hours by licensed educators. Here this evening, I'll invite them up to those chairs to give you a brief update is Megan Roth from Bozeman Reads, focused on the incoming kindergarten students, Nellie Brown, principal at Emily Dickinson, and Christina Ellison from the World Language Initiative, representing the Bella program. Welcome. If you want to press that little person button. And Megan, we'll start with you. Thanks for being here. If you just want to give trustees an update on how many incoming kinders we have in the Summer Jumpstart and anything you want to share about programming this summer.
Sure. So at our Emily Dickinson site, we have 18 kids. 6 of those students are on IEPs. And we have 2 ML students over there, 1 Ukrainian speaker and 1 native Spanish speaker. And then over at Meadowlark, we have 16 kids. 3 of those are special education, receive special education, and we have 2 native Nepali speakers over at that site. So at Emily Dickinson, we have 2 teachers servicing those 2 classrooms, 1 at 10 and 1 at 8. And then at Meadowlark, we have 1 teacher for those 16 kids with a very highly qualified para in that classroom.
Oh, thank you. We had 2 principals running the front half of Summer Jumpstart and doing all of the enrollment with families, and that was Nellie and Heather Shavoyka, and then Jennifer Westfall and Jennifer Conwell will get the high five and take it from here beginning this week, I believe.
Today.
So any information you want to share with us on teachers and students and how successes, challenges, what it's looking like at Meadowlark and Emily?
Absolutely. Okay, so total enrollment between the two sites is 183 kids. Last year, between the two sites, we had 155, so pretty amazing. At Meadowlark, there's 85 kids attending, and at Emily Dickinson, 98 kids attending. We had a few drops from original enrollment, but overall really good. Meadowlark staffing, again, they have 1 PK teacher, 3 kindergarten teachers, 3 first grade teachers, and 2 second grade teachers. Along with that, they have 4 paras and 2 special ed paras. At Emily Dickinson, we have 2 PK programs, 3 kindergarten programs, 3 first grade programs, 2 second grade programs, and 1 special ed teacher that's there, along with 3 paras and then 1 BSA, which is a behavior support for us as well. Weekly, we're having collaboration. We have weekly team meetings, kind of like a weekly staff meeting, but also then daily our teachers are meeting grade level wise to collaborate because we're using programs, Really Great Reading, which is like our main core summer program, which is outstanding. We're also using Acadians to continue to progress monitor these students throughout the whole summer. And then we're also using Waterford that was introduced to us from Megan, and they just started using that last week. I have a lot of successes. I asked and teachers were absolutely willing, so I have a list. Their number one thing they wanted me to make sure that I shared was that it is amazing to see these kids who struggle during the school year normally. They're excelling. There's less pressure, there's less stress. That smaller group size is so beneficial to them. It's building their confidence, and they're all academically in the same place, so they feel really good being able to read out loud or ask for help. And so they just love seeing that. So along with the smaller groups, behaviors are down. Some of those kids, that struggle, like we tend to see some of their behaviors, and that's not the case during the summer. So overall, students and staff, they're so positive about this summer, which is great. They wanted me to talk about the time. So last year we started essentially right now. Today would have been our first day last year, but being able to start in June, they felt like the kids were definitely still in that school routine. So it was like pick up right where they ended and get going. So they liked that. We ended up shortening our day by 30 minutes this year. So we go 8:30 to 1, and last year we went 8:30 to 1:30. And just that half an hour change, the kids are more engaged because there's so much academic focus in the morning, and then we go to lunch and they come back and they have a short chunk and then they leave. So that little half hour has made a big difference. Again, we're using Really Great Reading, and I have a lot of the same teachers that did summer reading last summer at Emily Dickinson, and they were talking about how they saw the continued growth the whole school year. And I wanted to share one thing. I have a current 5th grade teacher that's taught for 28 years, and she is teaching kindergarten this summer. And she is in awe of the lessons from Really Great Reading because they're so explicit and they're teaching the true foundations of reading. And across the board, the teachers would really love to, see if there's any way that at some point this could be something that we're using in interventions or other things. So again, it's great. We're using Really Great Reading, again, Acadians, and then the Waterford. And then again, they felt really supported from admin and para support this summer has been really great compared to last summer. We struggled finding paraprofessionals, but we got it. We're very well staffed this year. And then just a couple of the challenges, and I wouldn't say they're like huge challenges, but there was still some stragglers, some confusion between the early reading literacy and the United Way program. So then there'd be kids that showed up and we didn't have them on their roster and we're like, oh, they're not for us. And they're like, oh no, we're coming. But we were really accommodating and we did the best. So we ended up accommodating, I think, 3 or 4 kids on that very first day that thought they were signed up but weren't, but we did accommodate for that. So just working through some of that. And then we have some kids that are actually blue across the board that are in the summer reading program, and we're unsure how that happened again. But they're still coming. They're doing great. So overall, it's a great program. The teachers really love it. It was great for me as an admin too. I mean, it's small. 98 kids every day, and it's great. So teachers are already talking about next year doing it again. Like, I want to do it again next year. So I think overall, everything is really positive.
Thank you. So for the Bella Summer Camp, you want me just to launch right in? Okay. So for Bella Summer Camp, we provide English language, literacy, social emotional learning, and activity enrichment programming for the Spanish-speaking ML population in the district. We're focusing this year on K through 3 learners, which has been one of our major successes, is kind of making that grade band a little bit smaller. And we're serving them with 120 hours of that programming. We are serving 60 K through 3 learners, and we are serving 5 junior coaches who are in grades 7th and 8th. Let's see. Our curriculum is based on WIDA can-do statements, and the kids qualify based on their WIDA score, which we found this year has been, that's been a little bit of a challenge. Some of the kids are actually more English proficient, at least verbally, than we expected. But, that's kind of a bonus. We work on literacy, both Spanish and English literacy and language development. So let's see, 60 students, K through 3. We have 2 lead coaches, 6 classroom coaches that are assigned 10 kids each, 1 paraprofessional. We also have program staff, like a program coordinator and a program manager. So we have 11 staff that are on site daily. We have 15 volunteers. We've been working with 7 community partners. We've done 1 off-site field trip to Regal Cinema, which was that was a big success. And let's see, one of our successes, I would say, kind of back to our coaches and staff, we've really kind of leveled up this year in terms of bilingual staff. We've been able to hire really solid staff with really solid bilingual skills. So that is really helpful. And we had great training that was supported by the district with Gia LaForge. That was really beneficial in terms of, she helped with classroom management suggestions as well as just literacy and language acquisition. Let's see, success, just community building. It is amazing to see what, happens when you have a group of kids who can really connect with each other's experiences, their language and learning experiences. Some of their backgrounds are very similar, and just the comfort level of the kids and the staff in camp and the families. We build good relationships with the families too. So that's really been amazing. Let's see. As far as challenges, I would say, we're not fully set up. We don't hire, some of our coaches are certified teachers, but that's a little bit more the exception than the rule. So we're not really fully set up to support some of the individualized behavior challenges that we see. So that can be a little bit of a struggle in camp, but we really have a strong team approach, and I think we've been handling those situations well, but it is something that we can be challenged by. We've had a few logistical glitches. Most of them have been pretty solvable, including on July 3rd, no buses showed up, and we collaborated with Doug Kelly and, tried to figure out, it was a first student issue. We all were on the same page except first student, but we eventually got the buses running. Enrollment was a little tricky this year. So, just some logistical things that we'd like to work on for the next year. And yeah, I think that was it. So unless there are any questions.
All right, well, thank you, ladies. I guess questions or comments from trustees?
Thank you very much. I heard you mention that we've ramped up our bilingual staff, and it was my impression in the past that's been a challenge for us to find staff that are actual bilingual. Do we know, are those staff that are going to be permanent with us going into the school year, or?
Not necessarily, because they are, we've hired them, so it's more of like they're working for World Language Initiative, but we do have at least one who is applying and I think interviewing this week for a position. Yeah, and we've kind of collaborated just on staff, in terms of like posting cross promoting our positions and your positions with the school district and World Language Initiative. So we're always pointing our community to those opportunities, and I'm hoping that's just kind of a trend also in the community, that just seeing more bilingual individuals, professionals in the community.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So do you have any repeat students that were in the program last summer as well and this summer? How many?
That's a good question. I wouldn't know off the top of my head, but there are definitely at least 10 kids for sure at Emily that are repeat.
And then the kids who were in the program last summer, how were their test scores in the fall?
It's amazing to watch those kids, and they're like exiting intervention throughout the year. Maybe not right away in the fall, but throughout the school year, we're definitely getting them out of interventions, and again, that winter benchmark is what we use to qualify them. So they had already raised up out of at the benchmark level by then.
And then when does it end? Like, what's the last day?
August 10th.
August
10th. So
10th?
4 more weeks.
Is it Monday through Friday or?
Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for what you're doing for our kids this summer. It's very exciting. Just gets better. This is our second year, and it just sounds like it's really going well. I'm just curious about how special education services are provided during summer camp. Are they integrated into groups, or I don't know?
Yeah, they are. So last year we weren't really sure how it would look since it was year one, but this year we did plan. We knew the kids that were coming in with IEPs, and so we planned accordingly, if it was academics or behavior. And so, like I said, at both sites we do have a special education teacher, and they are doing a lot of push-in, which is great. And I know, speaking at Emily, like we have 3 kindergartners who are on IEPs, and we put them with a teacher who they're going to have potentially for next year. So the special ed teacher is, collaborating with that first grade teacher right now. She's teaching kinder this summer, but she'll be first grade next year, and working on building that classroom community and all of those things. Setting those kids up for success was really important for us with planning. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you 3 as well. I really appreciate your work and effort on this, and also thank the teachers and the paras and volunteers. I'm just curious, could you give us the student-teacher ratio for the classes, just to have some sense of how many they're with?
8 to 10 kids at each site, Meadowlark or Emily. Besides the one PK teacher, she has 16 kids.
But the ratios are really low, and what's a nice solution over at Meadowlark for that situation was we have a really, really highly qualified para who is in that classroom full-time, and so we're able to be pretty flexible in terms of the support staff, both special education staff and paraprofessional staff, of kind of where they need to be to help kids be successful.
All right, any other questions or comments? Well, thank you guys for all your work into the summer. Have a good rest of the summer, Nellie. Sounds like you get to start after our meeting, and thanks for your time tonight as well. So
Yeah,
thank
you
you
bet.
very much.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good night. All right, next on our agenda is consent action items. So I'd look for a motion. Sandy?
I move that we pass 3.1, or let's see, sorry, 3.4 and 3.2 and 3.4.
Second?
All right, so we have a motion on the floor by Sandy Wilson, or trustee Sandy Wilson, and seconded by trustee Moran. All those in favor? All those, oh, all right, motion passes 8-0. All right, next is 4 action items. Just to go back to the consent agenda, is there any public comment? All right, seeing none, we'll move to action item 4.
well. So we just wanted to kind of give you a summary of where we're at, what we're looking at for renewal, how we're going to communicate the renewal, and then what we're thinking looking forward into the future. I've been doing these renewals and setting price tags for about 13 years now. And one thing that I do have to say is this is not just a 1-hour meeting where we go in and we set price tags. This is several months worth of conversations, analysis, deep dives into claims data. And when we look at our core values of a district, I put in bold the 3 core values that we really hold true when we look at the price tags and how we try to hold them as minimum as possible so that they don't impact the take-home pay of our staff. We obviously know that we need to attract and retain high-quality staff. A benefits package plays a huge part in that. So we do try to hold ourselves to the highest standards when we do choose a benefits package. Integrity and transparency. We try and communicate and educate our employees to the best of our abilities. Whether they want to listen is different. We all know that insurance, health insurance especially, is not something people want to learn about until they have to use it. And health insurance is emotional. When they use health insurance, it's because they are having a major life event. And so we try to have a lot of empathy and compassion in those conversations, all the while understanding that there's a lot of emotion behind that. And then fiscal responsibility. We're in a budget crunch, and we have been for many years. And so we have to play that game of what is most important, salaries, benefits, and how do we make sure that we are making the best decisions for our employees while we're trying to keep up with growing costs in the industry, low approval rates by the legislature for inflation, and play the game as we go. So the first slide is just kind of going over what our annual health insurance premium increases have been over the last 10 years versus the actual legislative increases that have been approved. So the red lines are going to be the price tag increases that we as a district have assigned each year. You can see that they go anywhere from 0% all the way up to 18%. Then you can see in blue, those are the legislative increases that are approved every 2 years during the legislative session. The maximum, as we know, is 3%, and that has been approved for the last 3 years. The 2026-27 is in a nice little striped blue because that is only approved if our voters actually vote that in next year. So we don't know that we're actually going to get that 3% until the May 2026 election. So when we look at those numbers, we can see right away that our health insurance costs are rising. Our legislative approval amounts that we are getting for our maximum budget rates are not. When you look at the very far left columns, you can see our average increases. We average over 10 years 8.2% for our price tag increases, and our legislative increases are just under 2%. And one thing I do want to remind everybody how a self-insurance plan works. We are self-insured, and what that means, all the money that the district contributes to health insurance premiums, all the money that the employees contribute to health insurance premiums, basically goes into a big bucket. And we use that bucket to pay for our health insurance claims when our employees have to use the plan. We use that bucket of money to pay for our third-party administrator to pay for the claims on our behalf. And we use that bucket of money to pay for our stop-loss reinsurance fees and premiums, which we'll get to here in a few minutes. So in addition to the legislatively improved inflationary increases, one thing that we also look at is medical trends across the board. So when we are looking at our increases, this is a 7-year snapshot, and I chose to go with 7 years because I think it's a really good representation of what's happened since 1920. We went into 1920 feeling really, really good about our health insurance plan. We were able to offer a 0% increase. We had a low claims year. Our rates were really stable. We had a lot of money in reserves, and we tried to do right by employees and offer a 0% increase, and that was amazing. However, the pandemic hit and everything increased in price. So I don't seems like a really nice thing to do. But you can see the average trends have just gone up and up and up. We've been really able to sustain our increases and keep them as level as possible for a number of reasons. But when you look at these, this year, we're looking at an 18% increase, and it's for a lot of reasons. Trend is up, inflation is up. We've had some really high cost claimants within our plan that have increased our costs. Some have hit stop loss deductibles. Our stop loss deductible is $250,000. So when we have 2 or 3 of those in one plan year, you're looking at $500,000 or $750,000 worth of claims for 2 or 3 people. Fixed costs have increased. So our costs that we pay Blue Cross Blue Shield to administer our plan, our costs for our stop loss insurance, those have all increased as well. So we are looking at a larger increase this year. And the other piece of that puzzle is we need to make sure that our reserves are adequate so that we do have money in the bank when we do have hard plan years, because it does ebb and flow. We have good plan years, we have bad plan years, and we have to make sure that there's money in the bank account to cover those bad plan years. This is just a pie graph to show you where our health plan spend goes. So this is our health plan spend from September 1, 2024 through May 31st, 2025. The blue is our medical and vision claims. It accounts for $5.5 million, which is 87% of our total costs. The orange is our third-party administrator, so that's the fee we pay Blue Cross Blue Shield to actually pay our claims on our behalf, as well as the fees that we pay our stop loss, which is also Blue Cross Blue Shield, but that's the premium we pay for stop loss insurance. Those are fixed costs. District admin costs, that's our salary to pay our benefits and wellness coordinator, Alyssa Pack. And then our wellness program is an additional 1% up there. One thing I will say when we're looking at these percentages, typically in the summer, our medical and vision claims go up. Teachers have the summers off. They get a lot of elective surgeries and whatnot done in the summer when they have time. So we'll see, likely before the end of the plan year, we'll see those medical costs increase. So we'll see that become a larger percentage of that puzzle. And therefore, those other little pieces will go down in percentage of overall cost. This is just a little bit of information for you. We have changed up our plans a little bit over the years. We've been with Blue Cross Blue Shield for many, many years. The last time we went out for bid was in 2019. When you go out for bid for a health insurance plan, it's a pretty arduous process. I believe it took us 2 or 3 months. We had our consultants perform the RFP process on our behalf, and then we had our insurance committee go through the interview process to select Blue Cross Blue Shield as our TPA. With that being said, we are self-funded, so we get to design our own benefit plans. We have found that a way to keep healthcare costs down is to offer high deductible health plans. That means that employees are responsible for first dollar coverage. That takes more risk away from the plan, puts it on the employee's shoulders, makes them a little bit more responsible for what they're spending their money on, and it also releases the plan from a little bit of risk on the front dollar. So over the years, you can see the minimum coverage high deductible health plan has been offered since the Affordable Care Act was implemented. By law, the school district is required to offer affordable and adequate coverage to employees as a large employer. And what that basically means, we have to offer a certain quality of coverage at an affordable cost. And so we've always offered that minimum coverage high deductible health plan to be as low premium as possible for the lowest paid employee, which means it's the highest deductible possible to keep the premium as low as possible. If that's a lot of words, but that's what the one in yellow is. The $5,000 high deductible health plan has been our most popular plan throughout the years. That's in green. And then you can see the blue and the red. Those are 2 health plans that we had for many years, a $1,500 basic plan and $2,500 high deductible health plan. We found that A, we don't need to offer 4 health plans, and B, the employees weren't getting the bang for their buck that they should have been with those plans. The premiums were starting to be too high. The return for the employees when they used the plans, they weren't getting what they should have been. The ROI wasn't there for them. So we eliminated 2 plans, combined them into 1 plan. So now we have a $2,000 basic plan, which basically gives them the ability to have a copay option plan if they so desire. The plan is taking on a lot more risk with that plan. It's a copay option, so the plan pays a lot more money up front. Therefore, those premiums are higher for employees, and therefore there's a lot less employees enrolled in those plans. So this graph just shows the number of employees enrolled in those plans by each year. Yeah, Gary?
Right, just to clarify, the numbers across, under each column, that's the number of employees within those plans.
Employees, and this is as of September 1 of each year. Those numbers typically all go up because we're still going through a lot of the hiring process. The numbers typically go up and we become pretty stable right around November 1st. But this gives us a good idea as to the same numbers at the same checkpoint each year. Yeah, Casey?
The shrinking enrollment, is there any metrics on, are they getting insurance elsewhere? Are they going uninsured?
Yeah, we've asked our consultants about that over the years because we have seen shrinking enrollment, and that's been progressively since I've been here. I believe we used to be around 750 employees took our health insurance, and now we're right about 615. And it hasn't been a big dramatic drop. It's just been a slow decline. We think there's a few things. We don't think employees are going uninsured. That's not something that is a concern of ours. We do think that we have seen an increase in tech industries coming into Bozeman, and a lot of spouses work for those industries, and we think that a lot of our employees are taking spouses coverage elsewhere. Because they have their private industries, they can offer really good health insurance plans. So as we were looking at the increases and what it looks like and how this increase is bigger than it has been in the past, it's really important for us. I guess over the years, we've always communicated with people, here's what the percentage increase is on health insurance. And that's been the standard communication. And that communication is often fraught with anxiety, fraught with, that is overtaking my paycheck and I am paying more in health insurance than my raise was. And so now I'm going to have less take home in my paycheck. And so we're trying to re-look at the way we communicate this message to employees to make sure that they are understanding the way it actually looks and the way it really is going to affect their paycheck. So this year we're working on our communication method. We're working with Alyssa Pack, our benefits and wellness coordinator, to be on the same page for how we communicate with our employees. We had one of the best raises we've ever had this year, and we don't want that to be overlooked because it is a fantastic raise. And although we are having a large increase in health insurance premiums, the raise is still going to be a lot more. So we're putting together a little bit of a communications plan that just draws a picture for people to look at because numbers talk. So this is an example of what employees are going to receive in their open enrollment brochure. Basically what they're going to see is they're going to see what cell they were in 2024-25 as a certified staff member. The second column is going to be what their actual increase was from last year to this year if they were in either of those cells, the dollar amount per year. As an example, we're using an employee only or an employee and family on the $5,000 deductible and what that annual increase in premium is for those plans. And then on the far right, you can see the net annual pay increase. So we're showing them that even though we did have an increase in health insurance premiums, their net take home is actually going to still be an increase, just because we don't want them to hear 18% and walk away thinking their paycheck is going to be less than it was last year, because that's been the conception over years that they do walk away with. So we're having a lot of conversations internally about how we're going to help educate employees when they call during open enrollment, putting out some calculators and some tools so that they can help educate themselves so that they can understand that percentages on a $75,000 salary number is a lot different than on a $10,000 premium number. wanted to educate you guys on a few things we've been doing throughout the years to combat healthcare increases across the board. Some things that we've been doing throughout the last few years, just for ongoing savings. We've been contracting with a company named Prism. They work with our consultants, Marsh McLennan. They're a fantastic pharmaceutical contract company who actually thrives on digging into pharmacy contracts between PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers, and self-insured plans. So what they do is they go in and they look at our contract that we have between ourselves and our pharmacy benefit manager, and they revamp and they revise, they audit, they look for ways we can find savings, they find pass-through savings. So a lot of times contracts with PBMs will have hidden fees. They'll have admin fees, or every time an employee fills a prescription, the PBM gets $5 for every prescription. So this company goes in and they review all these contracts. They audit to make sure that the PBM is actually doing what the contract says they need to do. We've had over $600,000 worth of savings this year because of the contract Prism put into place for us. So that was one of the best money savers that we could have ever implemented. We started working with Prism for about 3 years ago. It has been a love-and-hate relationship with Blue Cross to learn how to work with them, but they've really done a fantastic job kind of molding to it, realizing that this is the way of the future, that they have to get on board. And so they've done a fantastic job adapting, and we've had a ton of savings and success from that. Our wellness program, as you know, has been around for many, many, many years. We've had a lot of really good success with the preventative exams, incentivizing employees for going to the doctor, catching things early. We want every employee to have a claim on their health insurance, because a claim for a preventative care visit is far less expensive than having a stomach ache and going in and deciding or finding out that you have colon cancer. So preventative care visits are really important to us, and we do a really good job of educating employees and getting them in. Livongo Care Management is an offering that we have taken Blue Cross and Blue Shield up on. Livongo Care Management is a program in which Blue Cross Blue Shield receives claims, and if they see somebody is pre-diabetic, diabetic, they have high cholesterol, or they are obese, they are reached out to by Blue Cross Blue Shield to take part in a plan that is free to them. They can get free diabetic test strips, they can get a blood pressure machine, they can get a scale, they get free coaching. And if they enroll in these programs, all of this is free to them. It's to help them improve their overall day-to-day health. The district gets charged a very minimal fee if they choose to participate in that. And then there's a lot of monitoring and conversations taking place between the participant and Blue Cross Blue Shield to help monitor that and help them from having an escalated health case. And then ongoing savings, every year we do go out to bid for our stop loss. Stop loss premiums run approximately $33,000 a month, so it's a huge expense to our plan. So we want to do our due diligence each year and go out to bid for that. Oh, and the BCBS contract cleanup, what goes along with that is it's just really similar to the Prism. We go through and we make sure that there's no, sometimes Blue Cross Blue Shield will try and get us to enroll in a plan that really doesn't provide any ROI. Sometimes there's plans for different programs that when we ask for statistics behind, is it really saving us money for participating in this, they can't show it to us. So we really hold them to the grindstone, and we we'd probably drive them a little bit crazy during renewal, because we ask a lot of questions, and we want really good answers, and we want them to substantiate their answers, because we want to make sure that what we're paying for is beneficial to our employees, because it's a huge expense and it's an investment. New this year, I'm really, really excited about this. We're enrolling in Member Rewards. I think we're the first school in the state of Montana to do this. Member Rewards is a program through Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Montana. And what it is Blue Cross Blue Shield is our third-party administrator. We use their network, and we pay them to use their network. they have different contracts for services with all the hospitals and clinics within the state and nationwide. Their contracts look different. So Bozeman Health has a different contract for colonoscopy than Billings Clinic does. So what Member Rewards does is it incentivizes our employees to look into those costs and look into those providers before actually going in for something. So for example, I have to get a preventative colonoscopy. If I go to either the website or I call the Member Rewards phone number and I say, I have to get a preventative colonoscopy, where is the lowest cost place to get this done, knowing full well that it's a preventative service, so I don't have to pay for it, the health plan does. They direct me to go to Bozeman Outpatient Surgery versus Bozeman Health, because Bozeman Outpatient is $1,800 versus Bozeman Health is $6,000. I'm saving the health plan immediately $4,000. What's gonna happen with Member Rewards is if I go to Bozeman Outpatient, I'm saving the plan money. The employee is going to receive a check for up to 20% of that savings. So they're getting a check in the mail, they're saving the health plan money. It's a win-win for both of us. The hardest part of that is the education and getting the employees to know you have to go to the website or you have to make the phone call before you have that service completed. But we've seen if we are able to drive employees to those lower cost, high quality of care services, we can save exponential dollars on our health insurance plan. So we're really excited about the offering. We're really excited to be able to give something back to our employees for doing their due diligence, for shopping around. So I'm very, very excited for that. Wellness champions, like Casey alluded to, we're really excited about that, being part of the LRSP, having somebody in the school that even if we can get 5 minutes at a staff meeting once a year to talk about health insurance is coming up, or we have different life insurance options that you need to pay attention to, just to get something in their ear to help educate them or just to make them listen. A tidbit of information is always helpful. We do have some biosimilar prescription drug options. Basically what that means is there's some really expensive brand name prescriptions that we've opted to go with generics that are gonna save the health plan a lot of money. And this year for our price tag renewal, we always get an actuary to review our price tags and help us make decisions on increases. This year, we, just with how the trends are and the inflation, we opted to get not one actuarial review, but 2 actuarial reviews to make sure we're headed in the right direction, because we knew it was gonna be a big increase, and they actually all came back really, really similar. So that left us feeling that even though it is a high increase, that we're doing the right thing by our employees. One thing that we always get asked is, why can't we have a health plan like the counties? Which I think the county's health plan hasn't had an employee increase in premiums in many, many years, and they have very low copays, and it's an incredible plan. Health insurance funding is totally different for both, or for public schools than it is for counties. Our health insurance competes directly with our general fund for salaries. Counties and cities have totally different funding sources. Their salaries and benefits don't compete with each other. They're able to permissively levy different funds, pull different levers to be able to offer different benefits and have different funding sources to offer those benefits. So not comparable in the least bit. And then we just went through negotiations. Every year we go into negotiations and benefits is always on the top of the list. We always go in prepared to adjust benefits however they see fit. However, every time we show this slide, it quickly becomes a conversation that they realize isn't as important as salaries. Salaries affect everybody, benefits do not. So out of the employees that are eligible for insurance, 65% take it, 35% opt out. And that's across the board, that's all of our employee categories. And then as I alluded to, and I know you guys are all aware, House Bill 332 allowed the state to form a health insurance trust. In order to form a health insurance trust, the trust needs to gain 150 school districts with 12,000 employee lives. And in order and by doing so, the trust will be awarded $40 million to operate a health insurance trust for public school district employees. So the trust has been put together. Casey is on the board, so I know he can speak to this. They just rebranded as Bridged Health Alliance, and they are doing their best to commit to a timeline in order to get the number of schools and lives committed by November 1st in order to access the $40 million to get the trust certified so that it can actually begin on July 1st. In order to do that, there is a lot of steps that have to take place before that. So in June, they put out an RFP for a third-party administrator. I think they are still going through the interview processes on that. I'm sure many of you saw a letter that Blue Cross Blue Shield opted to not participate in that RFP. But there are other TPAs that did. So they are going through that interview process. They have reached out to us to tell us that they are going to be requesting specific data so that they can use, I think, larger school districts' claims data to try and so they can try and use that claims data to get as close to price tags as they can in order to put together offerings to present to school districts later this or earlier this fall, I guess, in August and September. In addition, in July, they're also going to bid for their pharmacy benefit provider. So they're busy going out to RFPs for TPAs and pharmacy benefit providers. In August and September, they have said they're going to get cost proposals and benefit designs to schools. I think it's my understanding they're still trying to obtain approval from the state auditor's office, that they have not received that yet for the health insurance trust. And in November, they're looking for commitments from the schools in order to obtain the $40 million. They have to get the commitments in order to access that money, and then they're looking for the trust to begin July 1st. Typically, our process for setting health insurance price tags, in order to set accurate price tags for our health insurance plan historically, we have to have as many months of claims data as possible in order to have any idea of what our future holds for the upcoming year. We do a lot of risk analysis for ongoing claims, and that kind of helps drive where we think our trend is going to be for the upcoming year. So it's really hard for us to put a number on something in November. This is something we'll definitely have to discuss with the insurance committee. I suspect that we'll have Bridged come in and do a presentation of some sort to the insurance committee to educate them on what their offerings are. I think that the due diligence that the insurance committee and the admin is going to have to do will be a heavy lift given the timeline that is being asked. And I think that there's a lot of considerations that will come into play. It's really hard to start and stop a health plan that's self-funded. The House Bill 332 is going based on a 5-year commitment. So if you opt in, you are committed for 5 years. I am hesitant to say that you wouldn't want to go in saying, I'm giving it a 5-year commitment. You would go in saying, I am committing. Because starting and stopping a health plan is not child's play. It is a big deal. You have reserves, you're playing with employee and district money. It's millions of dollars that you're working with. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions that I'm really hoping August and September's proposals will kind of bring to the forefront. They have a couple different tiers that they're looking at for smaller districts and larger districts. But it's just one of those things that's it's going to be difficult for us to assess a renewal for ourselves in November when we don't usually do that until June. So something to keep in mind, but something we'll definitely evaluate and give a fair fair chance to when the time comes to evaluate it.
Sandy, you have a question, comment?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you. I feel like the district has done their due diligence in examining all things related to health insurance with the employees at the forefront of doing what's best for them. Can you join later than this November? Like, could the district not join in November, but then go through the process of looking at it and then come back and join the next year?
Yes, absolutely. I think that, and fairly, to Bridget's point is yes. But if every school district says that they're going to do that, they're
Right.
never going to get the 12,000 lives, and they're not going to get the $40 million. So that's not a mechanism that they're hoping people don't look at that as the mechanism for doing so. Mm-hmm.
And then this is just out of curiosity, how many families do we have on the insurance plan within the district?
I don't know the actual families. We have, I think, 1,300 lives, covered lives.
Okay.
So about 615 employees and about 1,300 lives,
Okay.
1,350 lives.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Gary?
Thanks, Lacey. Very good report. I have, I think, 3 questions. One is, do you deal with any claims denials now?
Appeals come through my office because I'm the plan administrator. So denials, if a claim is denied, it's based off of Blue Cross's rules because we use them as the third-party administrator. If it's denied and the employee chooses to not appeal it, then it's kind of dead in the water. If the employee chooses to appeal it, then it does come across my desk. I was always taught by Steve Johnson that we have to uphold the plan and uphold Blue Cross Blue Shield's rulings on things because the appeal process has very standard sets of procedures that it goes through, and this is just one step. So that's the way I handle denials. I know Alyssa Pack will sometimes get phone calls from employees where something was denied, and she can push back on Blue Cross and ask questions. Sometimes it's a manual data entry error, and they can get things overturned. Sometimes it's not, and it's just a denial. Just depends on the situation.
Okay, thanks. And do you have an idea how long, if this goes into effect, how long does the $40 million last? And then how will it be funded after that?
That's the million-dollar question. So a plan of this size, I believe John Duran was the one that said at MASBO that a plan of this size, in order to be funded correctly, $40 million in reserves is not enough. That's not an adequate number. Theoretically, they would have $70 to $80 million in reserves. So the first several years would be building those reserves. When you build the reserves, the funding should sustain itself. You should always have premiums that would keep the reserves funded at that level that's necessary. So there wouldn't be an end in sight, theoretically. I don't know if they have other plans to, I'm sure they have other plans to fund that $40 million has to probably be put to some upfront costs elsewhere. I don't know what that looks like.
Thanks. And then my last question is, in the RFP for the third-party administrators, who is designing the policy? In that review of the TPA, will you have specific policy elements in it? This is what the policy will cover, which it won't cover.
For Bridge, do you mean? Or for when the district does an RFP for a TPA?
When the district does it.
When the district in 2019, when we did an RFP for a TPA, we provided our current policy. Our current policy is built off of a standard Blue Cross Blue Shield policy, and then we make edits and tweaks as we go. So we've changed certain things based off of employee input over the years. We've changed colonoscopy ages, we've lowered those. We've changed certain dental, we've changed it so it helps our employees to the best of our ability without much loss in costs. So we have always provided them with our policy, asked them to build the RFP around the policy.
Okay, and then follow up on that is that the way, how will the bridge policy be developed?
I think that my guess, and I don't know this for sure, my guess is they're going out to bid either with a standard policy in mind or asking the TPA to develop a policy that would serve the districts. I do not believe it would be our policy that would be adopted by Bridged. It would be their policy.
So will there be one policy for all districts?
I don't know. I think there would be different benefit offerings, but I don't know if the policy itself and the coverage itself would be consistent. I don't know.
Ayana, I saw your hand up.
This might be a Casey question. So to reach that 12,000, does that mean every AA has to participate?
No, but you need the majority of the AAs.
Sandy?
Just so that I understand a little bit about this, it sounds like this is a pretty aggressive timeline at a real semi-difficult time in the school year to do. How many school districts are self-insured like we are? AAs.
Butte is not. Belgrade's not. What's that? Yeah, I think the rest of them are too.
So we're the only ones that's self-insured? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Or the opposite?
everybody but Belgrade and Butte.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Mhm.
So will everybody be facing this aggressive timeline
Yes. Yep.
with a lot of unknowns?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, well, Lacey, thank you for providing us all the information on what school district health insurance looks like. I appreciate the slide regarding the difference between funding, between what the school district gets, and it all comes from the general fund versus other municipalities. And then also just one thing to clarify, on the 18%, there's a share of that as also, or as well, if I understand it correctly, that the school district picks up. So when we talk about the 18%, it's 18% increase, but there's a percent of that 18% that the school district is paying for versus coming out of the paycheck.
Absolutely. So that, yes, that's another thing that we're trying to avoid the misconception. It's 18% overall increase. Both collective bargaining agreements state that the increase will be shared by a 50-50 average split up to 20% total increase between the district and the employee. The average split is the key word in that, and it's kind of a convoluted Excel formula. It's the average between all of the plans and the premium difference. And so there's some of the plans that are winners, some plans that are losers. Typically, the lesser expensive plans, the employees are the winners on. So it's far less than 18% typically of an increase that the overall amount the employees do see. Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks, Kevin.
So as you mentioned, there's, when you're talking about like the 18% versus a 4% raise, 4.2% raise, one, the 4.2% raise is on whatever the salary is, which is $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. And then the 18% is on a $10,000, roughly a $10,000 bill or something like that. That's an increase on that. So that's smaller in general. But then also that 18% is shared within the district. So they're not paying for 100%.
Correct. And the district's portion of the premium significantly higher than the employees.
Right.
Yep.
And a part of it for me is I went to schools at the last day of school, and I heard a couple teachers having conversations about how they're getting a raise, but they weren't going to get a raise because they had a big more insurance to pay. So I thought this topic was pretty important for us to kind of clarify in this setting instead of taking 30 seconds on the consent agenda. Also, there's a lot of moving parts to this at this point in time, so I appreciate everybody's time and all your extra work on this, Lacey. So thank you. Gary?
One last question. I'm assuming we will have to vote on this if we join. Is there a timeline of when that might be, or?
On whether or not you're joining the Bridged Health Alliance, yes. We will get proposals in the fall, and then those proposals, there will be some timelines associated that yet to be determined. Part of the challenge with propping up Bridged Health Alliance is there's no upfront seed money. So we have John Duran and a variety of consultants and attorneys and folks working on it, and some funds have come from the kind of parent organization of MTSBA and from some other areas, Sam, to kind of prop it up for to get some of this work done. But it's kind of building it and flying it at the same time. And then, as you notice, you have the Blue Cross letter on why they're not responding to the RFP, and you have the bridged response. So there's a lot of politics and big money associated with this that's being churned on. Yep.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, I would entertain a motion on 4.1.4.
Motion to approve agenda item 4.1.4.
Second.
All right, so we have motion on the floor. Do we have any public comment? All right, seeing none. Once again, you guys are quiet out there, so. Seeing none, we have a motion made by Trustee Neal, seconded by Trustee Deal, or Trustee D, excuse me. All those in favor? Motion passes 8-0. All right. Next item, board discussion, 5.1.1. I believe, Casey, you are up again.
Sure. This is a proposal for a new district policy, not a required policy and not as a result of legislation, but more as a result of conversations during staff well-being consensus, and then also taking into account that we currently have we've currently encountered situations where we have employees who are working remotely, and then we encountered a situation with an employee working remotely out of state and workman's comp issues there. And so it was due time that we had a remote work policy in place for the district. So Executive Cabinet has churned on this policy. I think if you zoom out philosophically, it is not the intent of the district to expand remote work opportunities. We're a human business, and the vast majority of positions aren't even eligible for some type of remote working situation. And if they are, we want to ensure that we're careful about going into that, that there's no obligations for the district to provide technology and those items, and that this policy is written in a way where these are short-term, no longer than a year situations. And so we do have a couple employees that have been working from home basically since COVID, technology, data department employees, and those would be reviewed on an annual basis moving forward. We didn't want to create unnecessary hurdles, but we wanted to ensure that there was an approval process and that the right people were paying attention to whether it is in the best interests of our mission and our employees to move forward in these situations. It's because it's not a legislative policy, and don't worry, those are coming. At the next meeting, there's a whole pile of them coming your way. This will take 2 readings.
Hey,
Gary?
yeah, Casey, you may have answered my question, but I was curious, in a remote setting like this, those employees are still covered under our district work comp policy?
Yep.
Okay.
And then, Casey, just for clarity, does the number need to be added
Yeah.
second reading?
Yeah, when we
or
bring
as
it
an
back,
edit?
yeah, when we bring it back, we'll figure out what, we're kind of taking, so what we're finding is that some of the legislative policies are new policies that are taking new numbers, and we want to make sure we don't take one of those new numbers that's going to be needed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there any other questions or comments on this? Well, I just say thanks for looking at this and thinking about it. And obviously, it's pretty limited and pretty narrow in scope as far as who it actually, who it applies to. So I appreciate that. Is there, without any other trustee comments or questions, is there any public comment? All right. Next is public comment on non-agenda items. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. But we do appreciate you guys coming. Thank you. Last one is reports. Executive Cabinet first.
Just a quick update that some org chart changes happened effective July 1. So Berdine Warwood's position, she retired and her position retired. And Patrick McClellan has started as Director of Student Programs and has hit the ground running. We scheduled a meeting with him to give him a short list of priorities for 25-26, and the short list was 2 pages. So he knows that he has a lot going on, and he's actually very excited for the new role, and we're excited to have him in that role. Deputy Superintendent King has begun the year-long learning process with HR Director Strauss, and we're excited for that continued relationship to impart all that institutional knowledge. And as you know, we're already finding creative mechanism to bring Strauss back for negotiations, even though state law doesn't allow for that. We found a loophole to make that happen. Yeah.
Any other reports?
I have one. I wanted to walk you through some relatively important developments at the federal level. You've probably seen in the newspaper recently some impacts on local organizations, especially nonprofits, due to freezes in federal funding. I want to let you know that those are impacting our district as well and kind of help you quantify that. This is a graph of our ESEA grants for the last 3 years and what we're looking at for 25-26 preliminarily. We'll talk you through each one of these grants. Our largest grant is Title I services. That's for our at-risk students who are at risk of not being able to read or do math at grade level. Title I funds staff mostly at Highlight, Irving, Whittier are Title I K-5 buildings. We have mostly paras funded at those buildings. With Title I, Sacagawea Middle School is our Title I middle school. We have a intervention staff person funded there. And the High-Set Options program is funded at Gallatin High. That's the Title I school. It's a district-wide program. We enroll those High-Set Option students at Gallatin High so we can pay for that program with Title I. What you see as you look back for the past 4 years is a steady decrease in the Title I amount that we have. It started off at $964,000, and our preliminary number for this year is $811,000. It's about an 18% decrease over those 4 years. We have staffing models built on Title I, and I should also add a portion of our Thrive contract is funded by Title I as well. Those staffing models, you know, the staffing levels are pretty consistent from year to year, but those people get raises, so it costs more every year to sustain those staffing models. At the same time, what you're seeing is our Title I allocations are declining over time. So the bottom line with Title I is we're not able to sustain those staffing models going into the future. It's something that we'll need to take a look at. The next one down is Title II. That's a professional development grant. The grant amount is hovering just under $300,000. That grant funds our LRSP work, specifically with regards to PLCs. Sarah Hayes' position is funded through that grant and also an additional TOSA. funded with that grant. As you can see, that grant has been frozen. We're not expecting funds for that grant for 2026. Title III, Casey mentioned, is our only funding source, our sole funding source for all of our ML, EL students and programs. We're approaching 10 FTE, where we're previously getting about just short of $30,000 for that grant. That one has been frozen as well. So no yellow bar there for 2026 at this point in time. And then the last one is Title IV. Title IV is a pretty complex grant. You can use money for technology, school safety, and well-rounded education, but there's a lot of reporting requirements. So what we do is just add that into our Title I grant. So it just becomes additional Title I amounts for us. This one's interesting because we received a preliminary notification from OPI about what our grant amount is. That's that 74,889 figure. But then the information we subsequently received said that the funding was going to be frozen. So I put some lines in there to indicate that we don't really know exactly what's happening with that grant right now. Overall, you see from last year, $1,253,000 was our federal funds for these ESEA grants. This year, we're preliminary looking about $886,000. So $400,000 roughly reduction in federal funding. Those contracts have been issued. Those folks are hired for next year. We can't stop the program at this point in time, so it's something that we're going to have to absorb with our general fund in first. And since that's going to be full as well, it'll end up coming out of our interlocal agreement fund, out of our district reserves, is how those programs will continue. $400,000 is roughly the equivalent of 5 FTE. If you think about when we were in negotiations, $400,000 was equivalent to 1% for teacher raises. So this is a significant amount of money that we're talking about. If you go to the next slide, this is the last slide. I'm not going to read this to you. This came from the Office of Management and Budget. But the reason the money is being withheld seems to be pretty political. And you can read through that real quick on your own. But then the last sentence talked about is it's an ongoing programmatic review and decisions haven't been made. So we don't know. We don't have any inside track about what's going to be happening with these federal funds. If we're actually going to be getting the money, if we're not, we're proceeding at this point like we're not, and moving forward with those programs funded out of one-time funds. If we end up not getting this budget restored at the federal level, that'll be a decision point for us as we develop the budget for next year, whether we want to continue to sustain those programs, whether the transformational learning grant can take the place of that, whether we can find other funding sources for that, or if we can't continue to support those particular programs anymore. So just 2 quick slides. Casey had something to add?
The other thing I'd add to this is another organization hit hard by this freeze is Greater Gallatin United Way and 21st Century grant that they received that funds our after-school programs and KidsLink. And I meet with Kim Hall tomorrow on that topic. I think they're in a they're doing some fundraising right now, and they're in a very similar situation where they may be able to, use interlocal agreement funds that they have for a year, but it's unsustainable to continue to provide KidsLink the way they are providing it without that grant.
So just in summary, significant funding cut from the federal government at this point in time. It's not something we're going to make changes for our programs this year, but it is something we need to continue to monitor and be mindful of as we work towards the 26-27 budgets.
All right, thank you, Mike. Any other reports? All right. Next item, trustee reports or